In the deepest parts of an ancient forest, where sunlight trembles to reach the ground and even the birds fear to fly, there are secrets hidden that some would kill to keep buried. Secrets like the one I'm about to tell you, a secret that has lain dormant for centuries, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. You see, this is a story about a door. Not just any door, mind you, but a door that shouldn't exist. A door that was never meant to be found. It was a portal to a realm beyond our own, a gateway to a dimension where time itself seemed to stand still. But how did this door come to be here? Who placed it in the heart of the forest, and why? Well, let me tell you, my friend, let me take you back to a time when the old-growth forest stood even taller, when the trees whispered secrets to the wind that only the oldest oaks could remember. This is the tale of those who found the door, a tale of courage, curiosity, and the chilling price that sometimes accompanies forbidden knowledge. Our story begins with a group of explorers, a band of intrepid adventurers led by a man named Alistair, a man driven by an insatiable thirst for the unknown. They were a close-knit group, bound together by their shared love of the wild places that so few dared to venture. There was Finn, the pragmatic leader, his weathered face a map of his many adventures. Then there was Alara, her eyes shining with an otherworldly light, always attuned to the whispers of the forest. And then came Cassian, young and eager, his spirit as untamed as the wilderness that beckoned before them. Together, they delved into the emerald embrace of the forest, their footsteps echoing the rhythm of ages past. They had heard tales of this place, whispers of an untouched realm where nature reigned supreme, untouched by human hands. The forest seemed to hum, with an energy all its own, a melody that resonated deep within their souls, stirring both excitement and a hint of unease. Days turned into weeks as they journeyed deeper into the forest's heart. They slept under canopies of stars, their campfire stories weaving magic in the darkness. Then one day, as they pushed through a particularly dense thicket, a sight unfolded before them that made their hearts skip a beat. Embedded in the gnarled trunk of an ancient oak was a door. It was crafted from a dark, polished wood, its surface as smooth as glass, reflecting the dappled sunlight that filtered through the leaves. There were no hinges, no doorknobs, no markings of any kind. It was as if the door had always been a part of the tree, yet somehow alien to everything they knew. A profound silence hung around it, a hush that seemed to swallow all sound, even their own breathing. As they stared at the door, a strange sense of foreboding washed over them, a feeling that spoke of forgotten lore and slumbering entities. Yet the very mystery of it drew them in, making it impossible to look away. In that moment, they knew they had stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that transcended the ordinary bounds of their reality. It was Alara who first broke the silence. Her voice, usually so vibrant, was hushed with awe and a touch of fear. "What do you think it is?" she whispered, her gaze locked on the door. Finn, ever the pragmatist, stepped closer, his fingers tracing the door's edge. "I don't know," he admitted, his voice equally subdued, "but I have a feeling we're about to find out." As if in response to his words, a gentle breeze stirred through the trees, rustling the leaves into a low murmur. It felt as though the forest itself was holding its breath, anticipating what was about to happen next. Cassian, his youthful bravado momentarily forgotten, looked at the others, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and determination. "We should probably leave this here," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "Whatever's on the other side of that door isn't our concern." But Alistair, his eyes gleaming with excitement, shook his head. Curiosity burned in his chest, a fire that refused to be contained. "We can't just leave now," he said, his voice ringing with the thrill of discovery. "We need to see what's on the other side." His gaze sweeping over his companions, he added, "Don't you want to know what lies beyond?" There was a long moment of silence, the only sound, the distant call of a bird. Finally, Finn spoke, his voice gruff but resigned. "Very well," he said, "but if anything seems amiss, we turn back immediately." With a final nod of agreement, Alistair reached out and placed his hand on the door. It felt cool to the touch, yet somehow strangely comforting. He took a deep breath, pushed the door open, and stepped inside. As the door swung inward, the scene on the other side sent a chill down their spines. It wasn't what they had expected, not a room, not a passage, but a swirling vortex of colors and energy. It was like stepping into the heart of a nebula, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of stars and swirling mists. At the center of it all, a brilliant white light pulsed like a heartbeat, beckoning them forward. But as they gazed into the abyss, a presence seemed to stir within the light, something vast and ancient, a consciousness that seemed to span eons. A wave of dizziness swept over them, as if the very fabric of reality was shifting and folding in on itself. Then from the depths of the swirling light, a voice echoed in their minds, resonating with a power that shook their very beings. "Who dares disturb the slumber of the ancients?" It boomed, the sound vibrating in their bones. Fear threatened to consume them, but curiosity, that relentless companion, pushed them on. And so they ventured forth into the swirling vortex, leaving behind the familiar realm of the living, and entered into the unknown. As they crossed the threshold into the swirling vortex, the world they knew fell away, replaced by a reality that defied comprehension. It was as if they had traveled to the very edge of existence and peered into the infinite abyss of creation. Time seemed to lose all meaning, days turning into nights, nights blending into days, with no horizon to mark the passage. Yet even in this timeless expanse, there was a sense of movement, a subtle shift in the very fabric of their being. As they journeyed deeper into this alien landscape, they began to encounter strange and wondrous things. Crystalline structures shimmered in hues they had never seen, their surfaces reflecting a myriad of colors that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. Bizarre plant-like formations pulsed with an otherworldly light, while strange symbols floated past, each one a puzzle piece in a cosmic jigsaw that mocked their limited understanding. Yet the most unsettling aspect of this journey was the pervasive sense of being watched. It wasn't a tangible presence, but rather a feeling that pervaded their thoughts, a chilling awareness that something ancient and immensely powerful was taking note of their every move. This realization sent shivers down their spines, for in this realm, they were truly alone, utterly isolated from any hope of rescue or succor. As they pressed on, the air grew heavy, charged with an electric tension that crackled between them. Their laughter died in their throats, replaced by a nervous silence broken only by their own ragged breathing. Even their footsteps seemed to echo unnaturally in this vast emptiness, amplifying their isolation. Then, as if emerging from a dream, they found themselves standing before a colossal tree. Its bark was a tapestry of silver and gold, and its leaves, instead of green, shimmered with 1,000 shades of purple. But it was the tree's fruit that truly captivated them. Each one hung like a luminous orb, pulsing with a soft ethereal glow. As they watched, mesmerized, one of the fruits detached itself from the branches and drifted slowly toward them. It hovered in front of Alistair, its glow bathing him in an otherworldly light, and then it burst open. From within emerged a swirling vortex, identical to the one they had passed through to reach this place, and from its depths, beckoning them forward, they heard the voice boom once more. "You have found the heart of the ancients. What wish would you have?" And so the tale of those who found the door in the forest reaches its dramatic climax. Now you must choose what happens next. Will Alistair and his friends seize the opportunity presented to them? What would you do if confronted with such an extraordinary choice? The fate of these adventurers, possibly even our world, hangs in the balance.